Mr. Bannon. Okay. I do believe in Hong Kong, the only one place has been doing memorial for 4th of June 1989 since then until now, and for more than 30 years. And this year, it's been forbidden. So the Hong Kong government say no. And I just check some information that in Hong Kong, they still do have some Hong Kong people went to the park to try to do the memorial. Okay, so the Chinese government and has been breached the law which was signed at 1984. And in that law, they say they promised the whole world, they promised to Hong Kong people, they say in 50 years, you will be got your freedom or whatever as the one country but two different culture. But now the Chinese government totally breached the law. So, and the Hong Kong people still very bravely and fighting back with Chinese or CCP party. And so many young generation has been killed and raped, the gun raped, and so many cruel things happen. So what would you like to say to Hong Kong people, the Hong Kong people who still live in Hong Kong now, and they don't want to move to another country? They really want to continue into fighting back to CCP. So what are you advise or suggesting them to do? Okay, thank you.
This is a great question. I want to make sure that people in Hong Kong understand the view from the West. Those young people have ripped the mask off the CCP. The most significant thing that has happened is not the coronavirus, not the CCP virus. That's huge. The most significant thing is how the young people in Hong Kong, the young cadres, would not back down from the CCP. They inspire me, and they inspire Americans, because they remind us of our revolutionary generation. They remind us of Patrick Henry and Nathan Hale and George Washington and John Adams and Thomas Jefferson and those who would not back down from the British Empire. The young people forced through their actions and their suffering the CCP to crack down more. And in doing that, rip the mask off the CCP. So now the world can't say they don't know what's going on. Wall Street raking back of us, the money centers, the corporations, the politicians, nobody can sit there and lie anymore and say, well, I didn't really know this was going on. I didn't know this was going on with the Tibetan Buddhists and the Dalai Lama. I didn't know this was going on with the Uyghurs. I didn't know this was going on with the underground Christians. I didn't know this was going on with the Catholics. I didn't know this was going on in organ harvesting. Or I didn't know this was going on in the Tiananmen democracy movement. I didn't know it was going on in Falun Gong. Anybody in China that wants their freedom and stand up, the world can sit there and go, I didn't know that. I didn't know this was going on. Nobody told me, I didn't see it. The young people in Hong Kong forced the world to understand that it's all a lie. And that the reason the CCP is in power is because of the world. The CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, is the Frankenstein monster that's been created by the City of London and Wall Street and the technology companies and all the capitalists that want to sell them all the goods to suppress the Chinese people and take away their freedoms. Because for these people, it works that the Chinese people are slaves. And the party at Davos, the globalists, don't mind that the Chinese people are slaves because it works as a business model, and it's the young patriots on the streets of Hong Kong from 1 year ago today that refused to quit, that refused to back down. They didn't care if they were tear gassed, they didn't care if they were beaten, they didn't care if they had water cannons shot on them, rubber bullets. They did not care. They were not going to back down. And they've been on my show and they told me they will die in the streets before they back down to the CCP. That's the type of courage, physical courage, but more importantly, spiritual and moral courage that shames the world, and makes the world understand this is our fault. that these people are treated as slaves. The CCP beats these young Chinese people like you would beat an animal, and they treat them like animals. Because in the CCP's mind, human beings are just animals. They have no spiritual value at all. They're not made in the image and likeness of God. So therefore, you can treat them like an animal. And that is what the young people of Hong Kong have done, and they will be remembered. As long as there's people on this planet, they will be remembered as heroes. They will be remembered as patriots. And 1,000 years from now, when the Chinese people are free, they will always look back in the summer of 2019 into 2020 and understand that it was a couple of thousand young people that did this.